Hello PANCasters. Today our special guest will talk about the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller. We have with us John Tsortzakakis from SASE Technical Market Engineering. Welcome John, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm John Tsortzakakis and thank you for having me here today. I am part of the SASE product team and my role is Senior Technical Marketing Engineer. I work closely with our product team, engineering and marketing to promote and support the success of our SASE and more specifically, our Prisma SD-WAN solutions. I am based in Florida, USA, and I've been part of the Palo Alto Network SASE team for over 3 years. My background is networking, cloud infra, and I specialize in SASE and network security.
Thank you, John. Let's dive right in. What is the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller and why do we need it?
The Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller is a flexible and scalable solution that allows customers to deploy their SD-WAN networks in a way that gives them complete control over their network operations. It does away with third-party cloud and its related infra dependencies for absolutely mission-critical deployments where you want end-to-end control of their infrastructure without compromising on the quality of the solution. The on-premise controller is for organizations with stringent regulatory and compliance requirements, and this covers verticals such as banking, financial services, insurance, and of course government, including defense. Interestingly, we're also seeing significant demand and interest from the utilities vertical, which has the critical public infrastructure to protect, like water supply, electricity grids, sewage, and so on, and for operation technology verticals. The solution is based on the architecture of our cloud controller offering, which offers expandable capacity and resilient deployment. But unlike cloud controller, this on-premise controller infrastructure would be in customers' on-premises data centers and managed by them, and support our Prisma SD-WAN ION devices complete lifecycle management.
That sounds impressive. What are the benefits and advantages of using the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller?
With the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller, organizations have complete control over their infrastructure, ensuring the highest level of data security and better compliance options. The benefits start with crucially enhanced security. The ION device to either the cloud or on-premise controller communication is always secured via TLS, and devices utilize customer-specific certificates once onboarded on the network. So if a customer has a strict regulatory environment and wants to use private networks, the added benefit is that this secure communication can happen over those private or even air-gapped networks to the local controller, further reducing the attack surface. Data privacy is another area where on-premise controllers provide greater control over data privacy, ensuring compliance with regulations like GDPR, CCPA, and more. Another aspect touching data privacy is data residency, especially for organizations with strict data residency requirements in the country or in the region. And the on-prem controller ensures that the data remains within their control and jurisdiction. There are other benefits too, say for instance, latency optimizations. Organizations that have geographically dispersed sites can deploy on-prem controller at a site that has the most optimal latency for all the connected sites and also ensure optimal traffic routing, not only between the deployed Prisma SD-WAN ION appliances, but also between these ION appliances to the controller. And another important aspect is SLA, of course, with the customer in total control of the controller infrastructure and the levels of redundancy and failover. And on-premise controller helps ensure highest availability and minimal downtime.
Great, thank you. What are some use cases for the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller, and how does the deployment work?
The Prisma SD-WAN on-premise controller is ideal for organizations with specific regulatory requirements of those seeking to self-manage and fully control their SD-WAN network. The deployment is streamlined with a user-friendly graphical user interface and support of Kubernetes-based scalable architecture and similar to our cloud controller. Our customers deploy the on-premise controller at their own data centers, utilizing their infrastructure. And the architecture, since it's similar to cloud controller, it's tailored to on-prem infrastructure requirements. For example, we support KVM and ESXi hypervisors, and there is inherent flexibility regarding the storage type. We also support the Prisma SASE deployment model. In this case, the on-prem controller can be part of the holistic single vendor SASE solution by Palo Alto Networks, which unifies Prisma SD-WAN and Prisma Access Networking and Security Services.
Interesting. How does it compare to the cloud controller, and how can customers decide which is best for them?
In a nutshell, as a customer, you choose the Prisma SD-WAN on-premise controller when you require full control over infrastructure and data. You need to meet specific security, regulatory, and compliance requirements, and you prefer a customized and controlled environment for latency and performance. Now, compared to our cloud controller, there are some key differences. First is about control and security. The Prisma SD-WAN on-premise controller requires more customer responsibilities and control over security. Meanwhile, the cloud controller relies on Palo Alto Networks and the cloud provider measures. The second is availability and scalability. The cloud controller offers theoretically an unlimited elasticity, while Prisma SD-WAN on-prem controller requires manual scaling by the customer. And the last is about cost. The on-prem controller has higher upfront costs because of the infrastructure expenses, while the cloud controller follows the OpEx model.
Talking about the cost, what is a licensing model?
We use the per device licensing model with a license required for each managed ION device. Currently, we do not charge extra for the Prisma SD-WAN on-prem controller, and for us, it's just providing our customers with the flexibility of deployment and management.
Thanks, John. If I'm a customer and decide to deploy the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller, how do I get started?
Yes, it's a very simple process to get started. First, you must order the Prisma SD-WAN ION device, their licenses, and their subscriptions. Then you must review your requirements to ensure that you have the necessary hardware and infrastructure to support your network size. And take in mind that we support networks with hundreds and up to several thousands of ION devices. And as an eligible customer, after that step, you can download the installer or our customer support portal and install the Prisma SD-WAN on-prem controller using either CLI or the graphical user interface wizard workflow. Lastly, all you need to do is just connect your ION devices to the controller to be controlled. At this stage, you can follow the same process to configure the devices, set up your sites, and similarly to the cloud controller, start monitoring your network with our built-in management portals. The beauty of the solution is that we utilize the same architecture as a cloud controller. And if you're familiar with installing and maintaining Prisma SD-WAN in the cloud and from the cloud, it is easy for someone to start operating with the on-prem solution. Another benefit of this approach is that we rely on joint development cycles.
With the built-in management portal, you mean that the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller has built in all that is needed to administer, manage, and operate my SD-WAN deployment? Is there any extra cost related to this option?
Exactly. Everything is included at no extra cost. All you need is SD-WAN ION licenses and subscription. The on-premises controller comes with two management portals, the operations portal and the admin portal. Now, the operations portal allows you to perform tasks related to the controller's underlying services, such as certificate management, device onboarding, health status monitoring, and more. And the admin portal offers a similar user experience to our cloud offering and allows you to manage your SD-WAN network fully. In essence, if you know how to deploy, manage, and monitor Prisma SD-WAN with Strata Cloud Manager from the cloud, you're ready to start with admin portal in day one.
Great. What's on the horizon for the Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller?
We're excited about the roadmap, which includes plans for even higher scale deployments, clustering, disaster recovery enhancements, and further scalability improvements. Nevertheless, we strive to offer the best user experience to both the administration and the end user who connects and utilizes our SD-WAN network solution.
Okay, so John, what is your last comment for our listeners?
If you're a bank, financial services and insurance, or government and defense organization, if you want to meet the regulatory and compliance requirements of flexibility, and last, if you wish to deploy and self-manage your SD-WAN solution on your infrastructure with simplified operation environment and unparalleled expandable capacity and resiliency, then Prisma SD-WAN on-premise controller is available to you today, and don't hesitate to contact our Palo Alto Networks representatives for more details.
Thank you so much, John, for sharing the latest and greatest information on Prisma SD-WAN on-premises controller. For our PANCast listeners, as always, the transcript of this episode will be on live.paloaltonetworks.com, and you will also find links related to this episode.